suppose I have time for a nap before we leave?
You have a minute? I need to talk to you. You're the one that was on Vectera, right? You flew in on the, Frontier. Tommy Bitlow, SSNN research intern. Word is the Frontier was involved in an attack? It's true, right? You saw some real action? This is great. Great! My boss, Nadia Mufaz, would kill to talk to you. An actual eyewitness! There's credits in it for credible, newsworthy information. Everyone knows David Barron, the face and voice of SSNN, if you will. But Nadia is in charge of all the research. All the best stories were written by her. She's... really something. And easy money, too. Just go to the SSNN building. It's not far. Keep it up, Tommy. You're killing it.
By Vectera, by Vectera, by Vectera! I can't believe it! Is it you? Is it really, really you? Captain of the Frontier, Bane of the Fleet, Constellation's shining star of stars. Then the day is truly blessed. Because for a moment, I wasn't sure if you were real or just another hallucination. But now that I know it's you, what are the odds? And to think, I almost went for coffee instead. But I changed my routine for one day, and here you are. It's almost like it was meant to be. fantastic! I think that makes us roommates. By rule, we pretty much have to be best friends. Either way, it's such an honor to meet you. Hey, do you mind if I follow you around? Do you need a sidekick? What am I saying? You're a hero, of course you do. Lead the way. You won't be disappointed!
Security scanners, chemical sniffers. United Colonies sure isn't taking any chances.
If it belongs on your ship, then oh, please, take a look. Oh, please, take a look. Thanks for coming in.
Huh. Well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? I hadn't expected to run into you again. Collecting and analyzing data regarding the internal composition of this tree and some drastic changes happening over time. You do recall aiding me with that, don't you? Indeed I am. The success of my previous venture, with which you so kindly assisted, has been brought to the attention of MAST. There is growing concern. Oh my, a bit of an unintentional pun, isn't that? Well, concern that things are going to get worse. The data we gathered points to a definitive trend. The vibrations coming from this tree are increasing in strength and frequency. Because we've never seen this before, not on this scale, we have absolutely no idea what the upper limit is. We don't know when or even if this will stop. It's imperceptible by normal human standards now, but given time... While I hesitate to speculate on the possibilities, well, none of them are good. I am attempting to formulate one, yes. But until I have all of the relevant information, it is impossible to do so. There is data regarding other, younger members of the species. Unfortunately, there are some, shall we say, personal issues with acquiring it. Personnel issues, if you understand me. Not necessarily, but if you're offering your services, you've certainly proven to be reliable help in the past. One of the other researchers in MAST, Emilio Hadek. has research I believe could be vital to my work here. He and I don't see eye to eye, and so far he's refused to turn it over to me. I'm hoping that if someone else were to ask, he might be more inclined to relinquish it. What do you say? He's held a grudge against me for years. It's petty, really. I'm sure he thinks that doing this now will hold back my career. He wouldn't listen when I tried to explain this isn't about me. There are bigger concerns. Oh, thank you. Last I knew, he was on a field assignment somewhere near the outskirts of the city. Perhaps it's best if you don't mention my name in the process?
It's amazing to think that this tree predates New Atlantis. Can you imagine?
Mind your step. Important research happening here. Could you stand a little to the left? I think you're blocking my readings. What? You've got to be kidding me. Is he seriously that desperate? No. No way. Kelton is actively ruining my career. There's no chance that I'm helping him with anything. Whatever this thing is he's on about, he's just doing it to make himself look good with the higher-ups. I'm not helping him with that. Kelton screwed me over good. Probably ruined my chances for advancing in Mast. I'm not going to forgive that, ever. Right. Of course, we're all in danger. Trees are involved after all. He really won't let this go, will he? Maybe I can make this work in my favor. Okay, you know what? I'll hand over the data. But I'm only going to do so after you've helped me secure a better position in Mast. Oh, don't worry. You're just going to erase some files for me. Make sure I look good next time promotions get passed around. Wait, really? Wow. Okay. Okay.
I'll follow your lead, but I wish handling our tree issue didn't involve using illegal methods to get the job done.
I've gotten a few bad performance evaluations in the last couple of years. Totally unjustified, incredibly unfair. I found a backdoor into the Mast network so I could make some changes to my personnel file, but it turns out the chief engineer knows what she's doing. The only way to get access is from the terminal in her apartment, which is kind of locked. Sorry, that's not on the table. From where I'm standing, kinda seems like it is. I'm not a bad guy, I swear. I just really need this promotion. Okay, look. Just hear me out, all right? I really need this to happen. If you do this for me, I can make it worth your while. You delete that data, I get promoted, I'm pulling in a bigger salary. I can compensate you. I'll throw in some extra credits for you, okay? A nice little bonus. But first, you need to get into the chief engineer's apartment. Fine, you win. Just get out of my sight. And tell Kelton to stuff it.
I tried to tell my colleagues that botany was important. I tried to warn them.
I hope you have the data. It's really quite crucial. Wonderful. I see you have the gift of the gab. I hope that Emilio wasn't too insufferable. I'm sorry if this was complicated. I'd prefer to remain unaware of the details in the event that it comes up later, particularly in a legal setting. And I suppose I'd better verify the data to make sure Emilio didn't double-cross me. But you have once again come through for me. I'm truly hoping that this is the last piece I need to figure out what we can do. And I appreciate it. Thank you for your assistance.
Look at this place. It's just as we left it. You know, I've often wondered who mind bunking on the ship, but nothing is better than unwinding in your own quarters.
We've always considered ourselves explorers, but this really is uncharted territory, isn't it? That was intense, wasn't it? The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noelle. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us. Well, Constellation's been around forever, more than 50 years now. but we only became aware of the artifacts recently. Barrett discovered the first one about 2 years ago, right under our noses. And he was the one who got this all in motion. It's a shame he isn't here to see this. Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory hallucinations. What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something, an energy surge, some other phenomenon. He did. At the time, well, it's Barrett. We weren't sure if he was kidding around. Clearly, he wasn't. Unfortunately, that's what a lot of people report in these situations. I'm not saying you didn't really see anything, just that it's really hard to determine after the fact. That's okay. Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right? Of course. There's plenty of planets out there that no one has ever set foot on, and everything we learn about them is valuable. We have a board where we post anything specific we're looking for. A type of alien flora or fauna, or a planet with a specific quality, like if it's primed to have life but doesn't yet. Oh gosh, no, I mean that's flattering, but really, we're making this up as we go. Until you arrived, we only had the two, and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know, and that means a lot of work ahead of us. Planning on sticking around then? Good. I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour. Right. So you've seen the library, obviously. Walter is quite proud of the collection, but Mateo has made more than a few contributions. Gardens are out the doors there, if you need a moment of quiet contemplation. Emphasis on the quiet part, at least usually. Let's head upstairs. Sebastian Banks, Constellation's founder, had this place built decades ago. It was a big to-do at the time, but most people in the city have forgotten we're here. So this is the bar. Usually no tender, so help yourself, within reason, of course. Now let's see about that room. You're in luck. We were almost at max occupancy already, but there's still one room up for grabs. It's been nice having the place so full. Okay, this'll be you. Common room on one side, so that'll be quiet, and Mateo on the other side, so maybe a little less quiet. I'm sure Sarah has something planned for each of us, so I'd better get back to it. Don't want to keep her waiting too long. Enjoy! hope Barrett makes it back to us. I know he gets into trouble all the time, and everyone just sort of accepts he'll be fine, but still.
I see what you've made there. Smart.
Ever since I got here, this has felt like home. Well, right now, nothing's off the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition. I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology. I don't know if it will help in this case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right? Speaking of, if you're gonna be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands. I can't be certain that they will, but more data points are always a good thing. I don't want to rule out anything that could provide a breakthrough. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay. Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep. Anything I can learn from is a help. Stay safe, okay?
Make sure you clean that off before you stow it in your bag.
Whenever I'm lost, I think, what would you do in my shoes? Not literally, but I've got small feet.
And we're off. Stay in orbit or jump. Your call.
Do you need...
You're out there a lot, right? In space? Just do us all a favor and never turn into one of those spacers. Scum of the galaxy. Robbing, stealing, killing. Even the Crimson Fleet don't trust them.
Saw your ship come in. Nice ride.
Well, if you're looking for the best cut of meat in the settled system, but of course.
We always wind up waiting forever to go. There are worse fates than eating appetizers at the best.
UC's got a file. On you. Big game hunter, huh? Try not to lure any of those secrets here, okay?
You'll need to contact. Unfortunately, I'm not authorized to make appointments myself.
Ready to head out there? Or did you still need time on your own? Go ahead. Just don't take too long or my contact's information might go bad. Ready to head out there? Or did you still need time on your own? You mean besides the ship, the robot, and a place to stay all rent-free? We do have some funds we can disperse from time to time. Not to mention, I think we can get you a proper suit. We're explorers. We keep a lot of equipment on hand for that purpose. So the more you work with us, the more we can share what we have. Bye for now.
Finally back with our son. That's all that matters.
Hello. Keep your nose clean. The last thing I want is to charge you for
There's a bit. Hope you're finding everything you need. Oh, please, take a look. Oh, please, take a look. Thanks for shopping at Jemison Mercantile.
I couldn't have gotten this slate without your help. Thank you. Thank you again for getting the data from Emilio. I know he can be a pain. The data on this slate could very well be crucial. Lives could be at stake.
discovery reports have come in while we were away.
Ever run into spacers?
You can't go in.
If you've seen something interesting, let me know. If it pans out into a full story, you'll be compensated. Welcome to SSNN, where the news never sleeps. If you're part of the David Barron fan club, try not to inflate his ego too much. He's liable to burst.
Listen, I might be able to hook you up with some merch.
A cog in the machine. If you mean literally, Nadia Mufaz, head researcher of the office. So if we got any facts wrong, I'm the one who files your complaint into the shredder. We spend hundreds of hours digging into stories, sorting the lies from the damned lies. Then David performs a 2-minute segment and wins an award. Who'd have a problem with that? Sorry. Long day. Longer night. How about a do-over? Let's take a look at you. You're not from around here. My guess is you really work for a living. I bet you have a story or two. I have a feeling about such things. Sounds like an old pickup line. But it really has, hasn't it? I'm interested only in primary sources. So things you've seen and or done that are newsworthy. No hearsay. So, what do you got for me? Dear Lord, everyone wants to know about Baron. He's a smart guy. He cares about what he's reporting. He's way too damn cozy with the UC, and that's a problem for us staying impartial. My biggest beef with him is he's credited with everything he reports, and he doesn't lift a finger to correct that impression. Looks like some Crimson Fleet brainiac figured out it's easier to hit stationary targets than dogfighting in the field. And you are an eyewitness with the courtesy to find us instead of being chased down. Refreshing. So what were the pirates doing there? It's not their usual MO. Rare minerals, you say? That would be worth the price of admission. So what's your role in all this? Part of a tour group? Huh. I didn't realize Argos extractors hired such capable crew. So we've covered the basics. How about any harrowing tales of daring do? How'd a bunch of miners triumph? How heartwarming. Constellation banding together with some dusty miners? I like it. This is a good local story. Plucky miners band together and punch above their weight. If you ever get more stories like this, drop by. And take this to cover any incidentals, or other creative ways to pad out an expense report.
Whoever came up with bad news travels fast wasn't taking interstellar distances into account.
I'm working on an investigative piece about some of the businesses in the well right now. Trying to get a handle on how things are in that part of the city. I'm not sure the story will get off the ground, though. I asked the higher-ups if I could go down there for some interviews, but they said it's too dangerous. They'd probably be all for it if David asked. Would you really? I'd owe you big time if you did. You've been a huge help on my other stories. I'm sure you'd do great. Great. I had 3 interviewees in mind. Teresa Mason, the owner of Kay's house, Henrik Zoran at Apex Electronics, and Nurse O'Shea from the Medbay. You don't need to ask too many tough questions. I just want to read on how their businesses are doing, and how things are in the well. I really can't thank you enough.
wonder how the crew fleet seems to be everywhere? Because they have little outposts everywhere. So many facilities.
I've flown across most of the settled systems in all manners of spacecraft, and yet I still get sick on the nerd.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yours. No shortage of hungry mouths to feed around here. Keeps us on our toes. Nothing else. Absolutely. I'm sure my mom would be proud to have the place featured in an article. What's up? Same as ever. I've lived in the well my whole life, and things have never really changed. The UC government promises to clean the place up every couple years, but there's still just as much crime and poverty as there was when I was a kid. That's why Kay's house is so important. It's the one place people in the well feel safe. Be sure to put that in the article, okay? I'm really proud of it. Yeah, sure thing. I'm Teresa Mason, and this is my home. My mom's the Kay who founded Kay's house. I grew up here along with the business. My mom passed the place on to me when she decided to retire. Running it is my pride and joy. I've put everything I have into it. Business is steady, as usual. We don't tolerate violence or disrespect, so a lot of folks like to spend time here. The only thing that's worrying me is a new group of customers I've seen hanging around lately. They've been watching the UC surplus store pretty closely. I have a bad feeling they might be planning something. Kay's house has a reputation as a safe place. I don't want to be associated with that kind of thing. Honestly, I'd really appreciate that. I'd feel terrible if something happened and I hadn't done anything to try to stop it. Why don't you come by when you have some spare time? And we'll talk it out. Great. Let me know when the article comes out, will you? I'd like to read it.
It's nice to see a fresh face around here. You stop in whenever you can.
I've got limited We're doing the best we can here. That's all we can ever do. Funny story about that. You know, when people first arrived on Jemison, they dismantled the colony ship and used the parts to establish a place to live. Over time, they built out, and up, and up. And after long enough, they started to forget about the people and the things still down here. The walls and the ceiling have changed, but this place still uses equipment from that old ship. And it's here because not everyone in New Atlantis can afford Reliant Medical. Don't have much of a choice. Can't afford to pay staff, and while I've got a few volunteers from the community, I can only ask so much of them. We've scraped by for a good long while now, and we'll continue to do so. Don't you worry. Journalist? That's a surprise. Most people don't think anything that goes on in the well is worth writing about. I'd be happy to help if I can. Things are always the same in the well. Violent and dangerous. I swear I treat more injuries here than I did when I was a Navy medic. Sure, if you'd like. My name's Talia. I was born and raised right here in the well. I've been the nurse here at the med bay for over a decade now. Once upon a time, I was a combat medic for the UC Navy. When the colony war ended, I came back to the well to put my skills to use for the people here. Things are always rough at the med bay. I'm the closest thing to a doctor that the well has, and I can't treat everyone. The last few weeks have been especially bad. There's some kind of infection going around, and a lot of kids down here are catching it. It just breaks my heart to see. Oh, you're sweet to offer. There might be something you can do, if you're willing. Let's chat again when you have some time to spare, all right? All right, dear. You let me know if there's anything else I can do for you.
No loitering, okay? Can't say I'll have what you need, but you're welcome to look. Nope. No question, business has been slow lately. Not too worried, though. Managed to make ends meet for a good long while. Don't expect that to change now. That's so. Think folks down here are too poor to afford electronics. Not the first time I heard that line. Yeah, I get that kind of attitude far too often. You find yourself with any more commentary, feel free to keep it to yourself. It's fine. Just maybe give things an extra thought before you let them roll right out of your mouth. A reporter? Fine, but I'm only talking basics. I don't like people snooping around my business. How the hell do you think? Life's a mess down here. I'm not holding my breath for it to get any better. Name's Henrik. I own Apex Electronics. That's all I'm willing to say to some nosy reporter. Door's still open, isn't it? That's my idea of success. Sorry if you were hoping for something more flowery. Great! Now why don't you help me out and buy something? I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Careful if you run into those ecliptic.
You talking it? You have another story for me? Hey, that's great! Thanks so much. Did everything go all right? That's why stories like this one are so important. If people knew what was going on down there, maybe they'd want to help fix it. I can't thank you enough for helping me out. I'll send you a copy of the story if it gets published. There's nothing like seeing your name in print. We're short-staffed, overworked, and trying to report on a million things at once. Not to mention there's a constant battle with the powers that be to maintain our journalistic principles. So, things are just swell. I have a feeling we'll see each other again.
If you need patching up, we'll see what we can do.
The problem with the companies, you always have to perform. And I don't mean work, I mean it's a performance. Like acting.
You don't say.
Oh, you remembered. I'm touched, dear, really. Yes, there's absolutely something you can do to help. All the children seem to have the same stomach bug, but I'm having trouble diagnosing it. Pediatrics isn't my specialty. But one of my colleagues, Dr. Lebedev, is an expert. If I had his research notes, I'm sure I could diagnose the disease and find a treatment. He works topside at Reliant Medical. It's easy to find. It's right between Mast and Orion Tower. Dr. Lebedev is always there. I've seen an uptick in cases of sick children in the medbay recently. They all seem to be presenting the same symptoms, but I can't identify the cause. It isn't serious enough to kill them, but I haven't found an effective treatment yet. That has me worried. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'd go myself, but I can't leave the medbay unattended.
offer only the best care in New Atlantis. If there's anything you need, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome to Reliant. If you're in need of medical assistance or require supplies, I am sure we can accommodate you. A medical problem Talia can't solve. I never thought I'd see the day. How can I help? We've been professional acquaintances for a long time. She's an excellent nurse. If the well didn't need her so badly, I'd have offered her a job here ages ago. Sick children? Well, we can't have that. I'd be happy to help. Let's see. A stomach bug. I've treated plenty of those. I keep extensive notes. I'm sure I have something that can help. Ah, yes, here we go. This should do the trick. I've uploaded some of my notes on common stomach issues in pediatric patients to this slate. Please, pass it on to Talia. She can keep it. And give her my best, will you? I hope everything works out for those kids.
About Henry from time to time. Not very often these days.
I've got limited... We're doing the best we can here. That's all we can ever do. Really? Let's see. Ah, this is perfect. I knew Dr. Lebedev would have what I needed. I'll have this solved in no time with these notes for reference. Thank you so much, dear. Really. I couldn't have done this without you.
Do you know why this place has stood for so long?
If you haven't,
I make sure
say hello to Mama.
everyone's comfy. I tell it like it is, and I don't take
Would
that
you?
shit.
I'd really appreciate it. I saw them hanging around the UC surplus earlier today. They sure looked suspicious to me. I'd rather you didn't. I want to make sure I'm right about this before we go to security. But I have to be sure they're up to something before I get the authorities involved. I don't want to get anyone on security's bad side for no reason. Why don't you do a little sleuthing for me? Maybe you'll have better luck eavesdropping on them than I did. We can decide what to do once we figure out if they're really up to something.
I don't know, Isaac. Seems like a tough joint to crack.
Nah, that's just what they want you to think, Louis. You see security around here? Hey, we're having a private conversation here. Get lost. Robbing the place? What, you crazy? Couple of sweet-faced guys like us? Not a chance. Get your ears checked, pal.
Yeah, get your ears checked. Besides, if we're gonna rob the place, it's not like we talked to you about it. I mean, who'd plan a robbery in the middle of the street, right?
Louis, so help me, if you say one more word, I'll drag you topside and drown you in the waterfall. And you, I thought I told you to get lost. Stay out of our business, or you'll be the one getting robbed. Frick's info is good. This'll be a piece of cake.
I've never seen anybody else try something like this.
Private sector. That's
Don't take it personal if I don't stop to chat. Lots to do, not nearly enough hands to do it all. Damn. I was hoping I had it wrong. I guess that settles it. We have to get the authorities involved before they can go through with the robbery. You should take this straight to Officer Endler at the security office. He'll look into it. If he gives you a hard time, tell him I sent you to make the report. That'll get him on your side. Head out the door and turn left. It's all the way at the end of the street. You can't miss it. Sort of. He's a regular customer, and I've reported crimes to him before. He's more fair-minded than most of the Wells security officers. Thanks. Let me know when you've made the report, okay?
If it belongs on your ship, then I'm sure we have it.
My mother wanted me to be a doctor. A doctor.
Something I can help you with? Well, that's what we're here for. What's going on? The UC surplus. You sure about that? It's been a long time since someone was stupid enough to rob that place. It's hard to argue with first-hand info. I guess I'll take your word for it. I'll head over there now to check it out. Those thieves won't be so cocky with security on patrol.
Stay as low.
That was quick. How'd things go with Officer Endler? I'm glad to hear it. I'll think twice about trying anything with security in the area. Thanks for your help with this. I feel a lot better knowing security's on patrol down there.
Oh, I was hoping we might run into one another again. Your timing is most fortuitous. I'm on the verge of something, but I don't quite have all the information I need. You have no idea how much I appreciate that, truly. Of course, now that I understand more about what's going on, it seems plain as day, and yet I never would have imagined it before. The tertiary trunks have also liquefied their interiors, but they're not vibrating. I thought perhaps it was some sort of defect, but it's much simpler. They're listening. I don't. Not for sure. It's all a theory, certainly, but it is completely supported by the data and observation, like all good science. It's the best we have to go on right now. It means it is ready to reproduce. I believe this tree is sending vibrations out over massive distances and expecting to detect sympathetic vibrations in return. As of yet, there's been no response. I suspect that will not change, that a response is impossible, and that's very, very bad news. We're continuing to see an increase in the strength and frequency of the vibrations. I don't know how much more significant it'll become. If there's no response, the tree may vibrate itself, and some nearby portion of the city, to destruction. Now, as of yet, there has been no response. And clearly, none of the nearby individuals are a correct match. While it can't be ruled out that the intended recipient of these messages was cut down during the city's expansion, there is one other possibility. Over 100 years ago, the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective emerged from the Narian War. As a gesture of peace and goodwill, a near-literal olive branch, one of the trees from New Atlantis, was offered to the leaders of Aquila City. No, nor in the short run, as it turned out. Of course, you can't just uproot a native species and plunk it down on some other planet in a totally different environment and expect it to grow. Clearly, no exobotanists were consulted ahead of time. The end result was wholly predictable. The tree died within a few short years. I'm sorry, I'll get to the point. The tree died, yes, but branches were kept. At least one still exists in the museum there in the city. If I had that branch, I could get DNA samples, and then using various data I've gathered, I could attempt to simulate a response. We could then broadcast that response and hopefully calm down our friend here. But as I say, I need that branch. I knew you would understand. The museum in Aquila City is under the supervision of one Miss Kassler, I'm told. I don't know anything about her, but hopefully she'll be willing to listen to reason and assist our cause. All right, off you go. We don't have any time to waste.
Back on board.
Must have been a good job.
Welcome to Freestar
You're
Space.
still in one piece.
We're going to do a quick scan for contraband, and you can be on your way. Scan complete. Go ahead and land.
Landing initiated. Watch for flaring.
Hold it. By order of Marshal Daniel Blake, I need to inform you we've got some trouble at Gal Bank. Folks might be in danger, so you may want to steer clear. Well, all I know is there was an attempted bank robbery and things went sideways. You'd have to ask the Marshal if you want the whole story. I guess that'd be the Marshal's call. Frankly, it ain't going well. Looks to be a stalemate. Maybe a little outside help would do some good.
You planning to tell me your demands at some point?
You find someone we can trust, and maybe we will.
There's nothing we can't handle.
Like who?
Not you, and not one of your rangers, and not these city guards, neither.
What the hell am I supposed to do with that? You need to stand back now. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't know you. Now please, stand back. Fine. Talk fast. I wish I could say you were wrong, but I'm backed into a corner here. Some folks from the Shaw gang tried to rob the place, but they got spotted by a guard. They took everyone inside hostage, and now they're keeping a watch so we can't move against them. They're using the intercom to communicate. They won't talk to me. Say they don't trust the badge. They want a neutral negotiator. In other words, they didn't have a plan for this, so they're stalling while they come up with one. Without demands, I ain't got much to work with. About all we can do is wait and see. All right, I'm willing to allow that. But a few things first. Say what you have to, but whatever they ask for, there's no way in hell I'm giving it to them. Also, there are lives at stake, so don't get cavalier. Find out what they want, and then report back to me.
I sincerely hope you know what you're doing.
Hey, you in the bank. I'm sending in a negotiator, so don't shoot.
Hands where I can see him, and don't try nothing. You're the negotiator, huh? If you think you're just gonna walk up here and get us to surrender, you're dead wrong. It's Jed. Jed Bullock. Well, ain't you polite? So tell me, stranger, how do I know you're gonna deal straight with us? I don't know you. So why should your word mean anything to me? I'm so ready to get out of here. Yeah, I'm already sick to death of this place. When this is over, I'm never setting foot in a bank again. Okay, I can see you're not just the Marshal's tool. You want what we want. A nice, happy ending where nobody gets hurt. So let's talk. They talk too damn much. Complain about everything. But as much as we'd like to, none of us has shot one yet. We want to guarantee a safe passage to the spaceport and a ship. We'll drop the hostages off somewhere safe in the system. After that, we'll radio back where they are, and the Marshal and his crew can come and get them. But if anybody follows us when we break orbit, we start shooting people. Got it? What, you think we want to stay locked up in here? Hell no! Then persuade the Marshal that it ain't. This whole damn job's gone wrong. It was supposed to be just a quick hit. Clean and simple, you know? So let's all try to keep our heads, yeah? Because my guys, they're going crazy in here. I don't know how much longer we can last. What do you mean? Sometimes bad things happen to innocent people. That's life. Marshal might take us down, but we'll take down some of his on the way. I promise you that. I know. I'm not disagreeing with that. Part of me just wants to be rid of these people. But we need them right where they are. Nah, it's too late to back out now. We're seeing this through. You go tell the Marshal. You're the negotiator, huh? You think... It's Jake. Well, ain't you polite? So tell me straight. I don't know you, so why should your word... Oh, shit. We've been in worse scrapes. Am I supposed to be? Nothing you say is gonna change my mind. Negotiator, huh? You think you're just gonna walk up here? Well, ain't you polite? So tell me, stranger. I don't know you. Keep barking, little... Look, just calm down, okay? Don't need to get violent here. Okay, I can see you're not just the Marshal's tool. You want what we want. A nice, happy ending, so let's talk. They talk too damn much. As much as we'd like to, none of... Got a real attitude problem, don't... Well, you better listen up. We want to guarantee a safe. We'll drop the hostages off. After that, we'll radio back. But if anybody follows us when we... Unless you want blood on your head. We want to guarantee a safe. We'll drop the hostages off. After that, we'll radio. But if anybody follows us, then persuade the marshal. So let's just... What do you mean? It's up to the marshal to make sure the hostages don't get hurt. Nice try, but the Shaw gang don't... Damn it! I didn't think of it that way. You have to believe me, we never meant to take hostages. Nobody's been hurt, so maybe the judge won't come down too hard on us. Yeah, I think this has gone on long enough. You go tell the marshal we'll come quietly.
Well done back there. As representatives of Constellation, avoiding conflict is what we should always be striving to achieve.
The Shaw.
What's the word?
Fools of us all.
Well, I'll be a son of an Ashta. How'd you pull that off? Considering those are Shaw's people, that's damn near a miracle. Here, you've more than earned this. You got us out of a tough spot, and you did it with courage that's not common. As a matter of fact, you might just be Freestar Ranger material. If you're interested, head on over to the Rock and ask for Emma Wilcox. She handles the new recruits.
Please stay calm and let our security forces do their work.
Shimon, we'll take it from baby.
The Rock. Isn't exactly. Massed, but as seats of government go, it's still quite an impressive structure.
So you want to come here for... I have artifacts that date all the way back to the time of Solomon Coe himself. Welcome to the Coe Heritage Museum. I offer a brief tour, and I'm happy to discuss the city's history as well.
Very well. People are proud of their history here, so we get more visitors than I was expecting. So it gets pretty busy here, especially with school field trips. Aquila City was founded over 150 years ago by Solomon Coe, a scientist and explorer from Earth. Along with other settlers, Coe built the structures you see in the part of the city we call the core. Those proud buildings still stand today. The planet was dangerous, so they built a wall around their settlement. Eventually, they ran out of space and started building outside the wall. There were so many buildings that they had to build another, larger wall, forming a second outer ring around the growing city. Of course, the city didn't stop growing, and before long, the third wall, the outer wall you see today, was constructed. Today, Aquila City is the proud capital of the Freestar Collective, and the Council of Governors continues to meet here when they need to. Most people know Solomon Coe as the founder of Aquila City and the father of the Freestar Collective. He was an astrophysicist who lived on Earth in a place called Wyoming. Solomon was born around the time people first started living in space. Later in life, he designed starships, and when Earth was in peril, those ships helped to save humanity by taking them to new homes in the stars. Absolutely. During the Great Exodus, Solomon came to this world. He named our star Cheyenne, which was also a place on Earth, and gave Aquila its name too. He and some others built the settlement that would go on to become Aquila City, and his descendants still live here today. There are some things I would kill to have. I mean, wait, not literally. But I would pay a lot for. You see, the Coe family lost a treasure trove of old historic documents ages ago. And those documents would be priceless to have here. Well, all of them were owned by our city's founder, Solomon Coe. He's more than that, really. He's one of the greatest heroes of the settled systems. These documents would be, like I said, priceless to the museum and to our guests. Their absence pains me. Jacob Coe and I have talked at length, and his great-grandfather was a troubled man. He sold off various historic documents to cover debts. They could be anywhere. If you find any of that trove of documents, I will pay dearly for it. Thank you. Think of the future generations that could benefit from seeing such important history. That is not something I expected to hear today. I assume you're somehow associated with the United Colonies? I've received some odd messages of late. Several that bordered on being incomprehensible. Honestly, I thought it was some kind of strange prank until now. A bunch of gibberish about dire consequences and frequency modulation and genetic reconstruction. It all came across as rather unhinged. Well, I'm afraid you've wasted your time because I'm not authorized nor particularly inclined to release any of our pieces. That includes 100-year-old tree branches. Sorry, but it's staying in storage. Hi! Please feel free to have a look around. The museum is always open to you. Everything you see here is a piece of it. I hear what you're saying, but I'm afraid it's out of the question. It's not just a branch. If that were true, you wouldn't have traveled all the way from New Atlantis to get it. Not happening. I guess I don't want to impede anything important. I'm no fan of the UC, but I still don't want anyone to get hurt. I can't believe I'm doing this. Please return it in one piece.
It might not be Jemison, but this
Welcome to
ship is
UC
starting
Space.
to feel like
Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Scan complete. You're cleared to land at New Atlantis.
Aquila City has what we need. Have you paid a visit to Miss Castler in Aquila City? Yes, of course. I'll see that it is returned to her in one piece. Well, perhaps minus a few shavings. Now, I just need a moment to analyze this and synthesize an audio response to our friend here. Right, so we'll feed in a sample. Now the program will incorporate the genetic and chemical makeup of the sample, extrapolating the size and structure of the tree. This was put together rather hastily, so complete accuracy is impossible. But I'm hoping it's enough. And there it is. Our best hope for a positive solution to this mess. So, we now have a simulated response to our tree. All that's left is to play it. I'm quite certain you couldn't achieve the necessary register. Far too low for human vocal cords. I've been forced to listen to this SSNN kiosk chatter incessantly this entire time. I think it could be put to better use. We don't have time to go through the proper channels, but if you can find a terminal and get this uploaded into their system, it might do the trick. Then I fear all this hard work will be for naught. I would hate to see this tree come down, but we may be out of options. I have no doubt that you will.
Time since I've been to Mars. The Sol system doesn't get a lot of traffic.
I'm already seeing reductions in the strength of the vibrations. The tree is calming down. I can hardly believe that worked. I don't know. We've been in uncharted territory this whole time. That doesn't stop now. With the immediate crisis hopefully over, I can slow down and review everything we've learned. And certainly, I'll be keeping a much closer eye on our friend going forward. And you have saved this tree and advanced our scientific knowledge of our environment. Noble work across the board. You have my gratitude and that of every citizen in New Atlantis, though they don't know it.
Source is back. If you have a news story for me, I'm very happy to pay your fee. You certainly get around. I'm surprised that branch has any customers left the number of times it's been held up. But I thought the Rangers had finally managed to get a handle on it. I heard there was a standoff. That true? I'd say I'm surprised, but this is my total lack of surprise face. What happened to the robbers? The Shaw gang? You did what? I mean, you're well spoken, but a hostage negotiator? I'll do some research and make sure that checks out. These things are often messy. Any customers or Galbank staff get hurt? That's really good news. Usually, well, it's a different kind of story. You were there. You were involved in resolving it. Any comment on the Freestar Rangers? Having another high-profile robbery in their own backyard is a bit of a black eye. Huh. That's really good to know. Stories like this always fire up public outrage and appetite. Thanks for the interview. And take this.
We're dead. We're all dead. The comms relay has been trashed. The whole room is trashed. We can't call for help. I can hear the terror morph roaring somewhere. And more people screaming. God. Another day, another shift.
Welcome to Whetstone. If you're looking for the best cut of meat in the settled systems, look no further. You must be joking. I have an exclusive contract with the Trade Authority. It's all shipped in from off-world. And no, I'm not divulging the planet of origin. I'm sure we'll see you again.
You look familiar. Where do I know you from? Oh, yes. Lynn mentioned hiring some brand new miner before she left for that job. I must have seen your picture in the contractor database. I take it this means the job's done then. Good to know. So what can I help you with? We just picked up several more contracts. Risky stuff, if I'm being truthful, but we position ourselves to take advantage of jobs like that. Think asteroid mining and other tough jobs. The next few years are going to be interesting for Argos. I book and process our jobs, manage the schedule on a broad scale, and interface with new clients. We're a small company, so a lot of us administrative types wear a lot of hats, as they say. As a former contractor, I'm surprised you don't know. We take on jobs that others won't, whether they're far away, extra tough, or just plain dangerous. And we always get the job done on schedule at a lower cost than our competitors. Well, after I book a job, Lynn meets with the clients to nail down the details. She negotiates the terms of the contract and even supervises some of our more important work sites. That woman never stops impressing me. Oh, wow, that's terrible. Those pirates sure are getting bolder these days. Is everyone okay? We can talk later if you're not... Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad to hear you made it out of there, and I sincerely hope Barrett is recovering well. We'll be sure to send him a token of our sympathy, as well as a generous discount off of our services. Thank you for letting us know. Take care out there.
Thanks for choosing Terrabrew. What can I get you?
The Freestar Collective has no place in New Atlantis.
If I move back to Neon, I'd miss